Welcome back. It is part 4, the final part in my eco audit series. This time we're talking about just lifestyle, eco lifestyle. How am I doing in terms of eco lifestyle? I thought this was going to be the easiest video to do, but actually it's not. With the other videos, they were more product based, and so I could actually go into the bathroom or the kitchen or the cleaning cabinet and see which products are sustainable and which products are not sustainable and could be swapped out. But lifestyle is a little bit different. It's not so black and white. It's more of like a spectrum, I think. So rather than having a list of eco positives and a list of areas I need to work on, it's more just, to me, it's more of a sliding scale where each habit can always be improved upon, sliding further in the positive direction. And then I thought to myself, well, if it's a sliding scale, how am I going to measure this? Because that was the whole point of the eco audit, is to measure. Because what gets measured gets improved, right? And I couldn't think of a way to quantify my lifestyle habits in a way that I can measure my progress. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead with this video and at least list the habits that I feel like I've solidified in my life versus the habits that I want to introduce into my life. And then come next year, when I come back and check my progress, I'll decide how I want to measure. That's not good. That's not going to work. I need to figure out my form of metric ahead of time. I won't wait till next year to figure that out, but I will kick the can down the road and not do it in this particular video. I'm gonna get to it eventually! That being said, let's get into it. I did say that when it comes to these habits, it is more of a sliding scale, and basically the goal is to improve these habits or add new habits, obviously. But the first lifestyle habit that I want to talk about, though, I'm actually very proud of. I feel like it's not a sliding scale, it's a check mark that yes, I've done it. I've reached my goal. Breaking up with fast fashion.
I know this is sudden, but like I've been thinking about this for a while. And I know this is something that needs to happen. I'm breaking up with you.
Cool. Love it. Totally fine with that.
And this one was a toughie, but it was actually probably my first step, or one of my first steps into my eco journey. And this happened maybe like 4 to 5 years ago. Before then, especially in college and right after college, I was a bit of a shopaholic. Thoroughly enjoyed shopping as a legitimate hobby, or used it, as a form of like retail therapy. I would spend hours shopping online because online catalogs are like pages and pages and pages and pages worth of products, which is a problem in and of itself. And I could probably dedicate 5 other videos on why fast fashion is bad. But we're not getting into that right now. Right now, we're talking about my breakup with fast fashion. Whenever there was a sale online, I couldn't ignore it, particularly in the stores that I like to shop a lot at, like Forever 21 and, what's the other one? H&M. And I have since learned the devastating impact that fast fashion has on the environment, on people in third world countries, exploitation of workers. It's just, there's a lot of bad things.
I think I speak for everyone when I say, uh-oh.
A lot of problematic things that moved me to the point where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I can't be a contributor to this. But to make a long story short, used to be a shopaholic, felt strongly about the negative impacts, and decided to just end it. So when it comes to like clothes shopping now, I pretty much just buy secondhand or get like hand-me-downs, or I mean, let's call it pre-loved items from like my sister or my friends. Not to say that I never buy new clothes. I will occasionally, like maybe once or twice a year. And when I buy new clothes, I try to buy them from more sustainable brands or less fast fashion-y, mass-produced brands. I definitely have not shopped at Forever 21 in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Habit number 2. I think I'm actually pretty solid with this one too, although I do still falter from time to time. is saying no to plastic bags when it comes to shopping. And the way that I've gotten better, though, is setting up systems. And people talk about this all the time, is when you're trying to create a new habit, is to set up systems to facilitate an easier way for you to build that habit. So what I do is I like to keep at least one reusable bag in my purse. I switch up purses from time to time, and so there's one in each of my bags, each of my purse. I mean, I took them out now just for show and tell. And I like them because they compact. They become smaller. I mean, this one's actually pretty big. Can hold a lot. It's a big boy. Yeah. And then this one is smaller, but it does still do the job. Great that they become compact. And both of these I got for free from some event. This one's kind of small. This one is from my shopping days, because Forever 21. No, not Forever 21. Urban Outfitters. I forgot. See, it's been so long. Urban Outfitters, they always give cloth bags instead of plastic bags. No, this isn't Urban Outfitters. This is Free People. My bad, but I'm pretty sure they're owned by the same company. But this is a shopping bag from Free People, and I reuse it as a reusable tote, right? And I also, if I scoured my house, I could probably find at least 5 Urban Outfitter bags. If you shop at Urban Outfitters, you know what bag I'm talking about. It's a cloth bag. And you can use them. I can't think of a way that you can keep them compact. There's like no Velcro, no fastener. But this one works because it has a long handle that I can use to just wrap and then tuck it. But other than reusable bags for shopping, I like to keep one in my purse for impromptu shopping transactions. But when it comes to the groceries, I'm very deliberate, and that's not so impromptu. Like, I'm going to the grocery store for a reason. So I like to keep those bags. So those are bigger and have structure to them, which makes it easier to pack. I keep those by the door so that I always usually remember to grab them on the way out. But I also keep a pile of Trader Joe's paper bags in the back of my car, and those are pretty sturdy and have handles. So whenever I go to Trader Joe's, I can use that. And in the event that I do forget my reusable bag, I either carry all my items by hand out the door, or if it's the grocery store, sometimes they'll have paper bags instead of plastic bags, and so I'll just grab a paper bag instead. But the only times that I shop with enough items that I can't carry it all out is when I go grocery shopping. But I guess if you were at the mall and you went shopping, it'd be really weird if you walked out of the store with just an item. So never mind, that wouldn't work. So just have them in your purse and then you're set. Ooh, I'm realizing all of these have to do with shopping. At least the next 2 have to do with shopping. So one is more conscious vetting of retailers. That's like the overarching concept. There are actually quite a few websites and apps nowadays that help you vet retailers, so you can see from a third-party perspective if a particular company is sustainable, how sustainable are they. And so like if a certain company is terrible, for example Shein, then you should avoid that company. Now it's hard to vet companies on your own because there's not a lot of transparency in the retail space. So a lot of companies claim that they're being eco-friendly, but there's no proof that they're being eco-friendly. They might just be using buzzwords or greenwashing, and you don't know. So taking it upon oneself to vet companies, as good or bad when it comes to the earth, is a challenge. And so there are websites out there that can help. For example, Good On You is a really good website, and they have like a smiley face scale of how good a company is or isn't, and they describe very clearly how a company is ranked, like what qualities contributed to that ranking. One thing I will say though is that I find that Good On You's ranking system, their ethical bar, so to speak, is quite high, which is good, especially if you want to be better for the environment and strive to do as best as possible. But as a starting point, you might find that all of your favorite brands are really bad for the environment. Yikes. I mean, because that's what I just search on Good On You to see, oh, is this brand okay? Turns out they're not. So it can be a little disheartening. So, I mean, you don't have to start there. There are other ways that you can vet a company. But the company that, for me, was the easiest to, like, vet out was Amazon. I'm not a fan of Amazon. I'm not a fan of the business model. I'm not a fan of worker exploitation. Could probably go through on a number of reasons why I don't like Amazon. I think mostly because it fuels consumerism, like, really well. I understand that Amazon is a good resource for a lot of people because it provides good prices, better prices than some other options, and it is convenient, so I understand why people like it. I personally don't want to buy into that because of the reasons that I already stated. That being said, I still occasionally will use Amazon, but before you yell at me for being hypocritical, I'm not being hypocritical because it's still imperfect activism is better than no activism. All right, let's be clear. That's like the main message of my channel, is that you can do a little. That's all it takes. So by limiting Amazon rather than completely eliminating, I'm still doing good. I can tell myself that I'm doing good. Suffice it to say that Amazon's business model is pro-capitalism. But capitalism isn't all bad, and there's some good that comes with capitalism, like innovation, for example. But I think the emphasis to always produce is what's causing problems with like excess waste, excess consumption. And Amazon fuels that, which is why I don't like that. I prefer more minimalist lifestyle, which produces less waste. And so that's why I like to avoid Amazon. Speaking of avoiding Amazon, I also like to buy secondhand. I love secondhand. I mean, I've already fallen in love with secondhand clothes. But other things that are pretty easy to get on board with when it comes to the secondhand bandwagon is furniture. That's a good one, because if furniture is made well, it should last multiple generations. Or at least 2 generations need some refurbishment and then last another 2. There are quite a few pieces in my house, furniture-wise, that I purchased secondhand. I mean, just even looking around this room, that chair is secondhand. That desk is made from reclaimed wood, which is technically secondhand, or reused, upcycled. This couch used to belong to my mother, so this is almost as old as me. I think we got this couch when I was like at least 5. So this couch has seen some years. I also buy some secondhand appliances. Like, we needed a leaf blower, and I got that off Facebook Marketplace. So secondhand shopping is definitely a habit that I have adopted and will continue to grow. And I already talked about having a minimalist mindset, and that's a very broad lifestyle behavior. Have a minimalist mindset. What does that even mean? And I think it's just, for me, it means that I try to focus more on needs than wants. And when it comes to my wants, I try and analyze the degree of want. If it's something that I want just because it's a trend and I'm probably not going to want it in a year, then I'm like, maybe not. Maybe don't do that.
An incorrect feeling.
I sometimes have a feeling I can do crystal meth, but then I think, better not.
Yeah.
I basically ensure if I have a want, is that want worthy of indulging? And I don't find it limiting in any way. Like, I'm still happy. I think the whole point of the whole point of the minimalist mindset is that you only take in stuff that actually makes you happy, and you're not just accumulating stuff that maybe you use once or twice and then forget about, or just stuff that you don't need. Marie Kondo, she said, what sparks joy? That's how you declutter, is you just keep the things that spark joy. I think decluttering is a powerful thing to do. And living minimalist just means you have to declutter less often. And finally, the last thing is avoiding plastic. Single-use plastic, to be more specific. If anyone knows me or has seen some of the other content that I've created, I am gung-ho about how much I dislike single-use plastic, because it just logically, it doesn't make sense to me. Single-use plastic is so wasteful. And the only time it makes sense is in like hospitals where sanitary reasons dictate that something must be single use. But other than that, I really think we should be just stepping away from single use waste. Like, it's just like, why? It doesn't make sense. You use it for 5 minutes and then it lives in landfill for 500 years. Tell me how that makes sense. I mean, if I thought hard enough, I guess the reason people would give is convenience. It's convenient. Fine, I get it. But it doesn't justify the piles and piles of trash that we have. So I avoid single-use plastic and single-use waste. I try my hardest. It's still hard to do. It really is. And I know I can get better at it, but I'm just very conscious because it's so illogical to me. I'm sorry. I don't get it. Moving on to the habits that I'd like to add to my eco lifestyle. Now, when I was prepping for this video, there's actually a long list of habits that I would like to adopt, because when it comes to sustainability, there's always more that could be done. If I were to look at some other content creators and their lifestyles, they're doing so much, and I'm not even close to that. But I don't want to compare too much, because comparison is the thief of joy. So I just want to make my own list, regardless of what other people are doing. And that list in and of itself is still long. And I'm sure if I were to go back to the list, I could add another 10 items every single time. That being said, I had to focus, for the next year of growth, I had to focus on just a handful, right? Because we're not going to do everything all at once. It's too much. One, this is one I've been telling myself that I would do for the past 2 years, and I haven't even touched it. And that is to be a part-time vegetarian. And I don't know what part-time looks like just yet, but I don't see myself ever getting rid of meat entirely or being a full-blown vegetarian. It's just not in the cards for me, which is fine. But I could totally see myself being a part-time vegetarian, meaning maybe I only eat meat on weekends, or maybe I only eat meat half of the week, stuff like that. And that's gonna be hard because I have no experience in prepping meals that are still high in protein but are plant-based. But I know other people do. There are a lot of people that do that, and a lot of content creators that provide recipes for that. I just haven't actually executed any of them myself. And so that's on my list of things that I want to add and I think I'm going to start slow and maybe just do 1 day out of the week be vegetarian. I feel like if I start with 1 day a week being vegetarian, I think that's doable. And then once I get good at that, I'll do 2 days. And I think the end goal, the end of the spectrum for me, would be to be a weekday vegetarian and a weekend carnivore. And I think that's fine. 2, and I talked about this in my kitchen audit video, I want to grow my own herbs. But more than that, I want to be a plant mom.
Bobby, when your friend leaves, can you give me a hand with the dishes?
Saturdays are for my plants!
Oops, thought it was Sunday.
I think it'd be really, I see people out on the internet. I see other people that have plants in their homes, plants in their gardens, and I'm like, must be nice. Wish I could do that. And I can. I know I can. I just haven't actually done it yet. And so that is on the list. Become a plant mom. For 2 reasons. 1, I want to grow my own herbs and 1 day food as well. Like if I go out in my yard and have a tomato, that would be cool. But I think we'll just stick with herbs right now. But there is when I moved into this house, there were 2 flower beds in the front, and every summer they just get overgrown with weeds, and I de-weed and I put mulch, and then the cycle happens over and over again. And I keep telling myself, no, I'm gonna plant flowers, I'm gonna plant plants, something else instead of just weeds, and I never do. So I mean, becoming a plant mom entails 3 reasons. 1, I want to grow my own herbs and eventually vegetables or any other consumable food. 2, I just want houseplants because they're such cute decor, and they improve air quality as well. So like, let's get a monstera, let's get a snake plant, let's get a philodendron. Such a fun name. I think I'm saying it right. Philodendron. But they always look so pretty in photos. So let's get some houseplants. Herbs, houseplants, and let's fill those damn flower beds in the front of my house so that it doesn't look so sad. Next habit, shopping at the farmer's market.
Are you gonna tell me where we're going? Because if it has the words farmers or market in it, I don't want to go.
I always felt like I could be a farmer's market type of person, but I don't go. I think it's out of convenience. Since I'm already going to the grocery store and there's produce there, I'll just buy it there. I don't know the experience of shopping for produce at the farmer's market, and I think I would like to do that. I want to add it to the list of eco habits that I do. Maybe learn more about agriculture and the process. I also had this misconception that farmers markets only run during the summertime. I think they're the most popular during the summertime, but I think the last time I checked, there's a farmers market near me, that still operates in the fall and winter. I don't know what produce they're giving. But next year we are going to shop at the farmers markets, compare prices, and we'll see. And last but not least, I mean, this is almost turning into a New Year's resolution kind of thing, because these are all habits that I want to improve upon in 2024. So I mean, like, why not? This could be part of my New Year's resolutions. And one resolution that I continually make every other year or so and never follow through is to read more. I used to read quite a lot. Used to be a bit of a bibliophile. I think that's a word. I mean, you can see I have a library back here that gets featured in some of my other videos. But I've probably only read half of these books, to be honest. I gotta read them more. There's actually a Japanese word, can't remember it right now, that describes a person who collects books but doesn't read them. And I think I might be guilty of that. But it would be nice to actually read them. And so I want to read more. I'm going off on a tangent, but the eco habit that I want to introduce is to read more literature regarding sustainability, to learn. This is basically just to learn. I feel like I know stuff about the environment, but I'm no expert by any means. And so I just want to be more educated, more in the know when it comes to climate change issues. So I guess it's not just read more, but like watch documentaries, listen to podcasts, just become more informed on environmental issues. So there you have it. My lifestyle eco audit. Some things that I've accomplished. I'm getting cozy because it's cold. I think this could be different from person to person. Maybe it's easier to just do swaps. Plastic swaps in the kitchen, plastic swaps in the bathroom, just like one-off switches, versus complete lifestyle shifts, lifestyle changes. I think those might be harder to do because they involve more systematic change. I think when it comes to lifestyle, that shift is a little bit more slow and requires more conscientiousness. But that's okay. That's part of the journey, and I'm up for it. And hopefully more people are too. I'll leave you with the message of, let's just shift the mindset from a mindset of consumption to a mindset of sustainability. What does that look like to you? Just like a little bit of food for thought. I don't know. I don't want to get too philosophical. So yeah, that's it. We're going to end it there. Thanks for watching the Eco Audit series. I'm done with that for now. Wait till next year when I revisit it and compare. Until next time, I'm Vera. Don't forget to live your best green. Bye.